We got Cindy, Gladys, Susan. $13 waiting or $13 watching. We got quite a few, I guess, silent viewers today. How are you ladies doing today? I've had a lazy morning. I did do a video this morning that I'll post tomorrow. But other than that, I've been lazy. It's too hot outside to do anything. Hi, Cindy. And there's Craig. Hello, Craig. Glad you could make it, everybody. How's Craig and Cindy and Susan and Gladys? How's everybody doing today? And there's Patty C. Hello. It started raining a bit here. I wish it would rain here. In the forecast, we have not got rain, even a chance of rain, for another week at least. And this triple-digit temperature is unreal. And there's Connie. Hi, Connie. I'm doing great. Like I said, I've been lazy today. It's too hot outside to do anything. I did clean out my bird bath first thing this morning because it was getting kind of cruddy looking, and filled it back up with water. The one that's on the patio here, the little wash basin that I turned into a water fountain for the birds. I was telling Connie I brought that wash basin all the way back from North Carolina years ago when my grandmother and my aunt died. It was some of the things that was left in the old house before it was tore down. I never could find the pitcher that goes with it because, you know, the wash basin always has a pitcher to match it that holds your water, and you pour your water in your wash basin. I couldn't find the pitcher. But I love the wash basin because it's just perfect to fit in that little stand that I bought to turn it into a bird bath. And there's Barbara. Hi, Barbara. Yep. Well, it did hit 100 here. I mean, it's been like 102, 101, and it's going to be at least 100 or higher every day this coming week with no rain. You got to do choir practice in about 45 minutes, Craig. Well, that's okay. 45 minutes is a good length of time for you to be here. And you know what? Nobody reminded me of birthdays this month. You know, we've been doing a little virtual birthday party for each month. Well, we didn't do June yet, so today is June's birthday party, virtual birthday party. So I don't know whose birthday it is this month. Even if anyone had a birthday for this month, I don't know. Yes, ma'am, Gladys. Thumbs up, please. We got 20 watching. We got 9 thumbs up. That's pretty good. Well, April will come around again because we do it once a month, every month for the birthdays. And I don't know what month we started it. We may have started in April or February. I don't know. I know we did do May, and we haven't done this month. So we did April too, I think. But nobody reminded me of it, and I forgot till like yesterday. It's like, oh no, this is the last day of the month. We got to have a birthday party. And I said, you know, I didn't get to let everybody know it would be today, so. But it's not a big deal, you know. Your late husband was June 19th. Okay. My 22nd anniversary was July 3rd. Oh, wow. Oh, and I figured out what was going on with the camera last live. YouTube has changed a lot of settings in the YouTube Studio app and online. So you have more options that you can control on your app, on your phone, or your camera now than you could before, which makes it a little bit better. But if you didn't know that, you didn't know where to find the option to turn it back to horizontal. And it took me a little bit after our live ended last time to figure it out, but I did find out where you changed it, so that's all taken care of now. Yeah, I hear you, Craig. I don't like the hurricanes. But since I'm from North Carolina, right on the coast, I've been through many a hurricane every single year on the North Carolina coast. Sometimes we'd get flooding, sometimes not. Sometimes it was just strong winds and a heavy rain. We really did not get any bad destruction, though, thank goodness. We had a bunch of trees down when, because the ground got so wet that the trees would get uprooted. Oh, Susan, you haven't taken any pictures lately? Well, I'm wondering where I'm going to put all these potato slips. They say ask and you shall receive. Well, I mentioned on one of my lives, I think, that I couldn't find potatoes, sweet potatoes here, that I could actually put in water and grow the sweet potato slips. Well, Susan sent me a couple. My anonymous subscriber or anonymous giver sent me a couple. And I've been rooting them and breaking them off and rooting more, And I've got tons of sweet potato slips out here. And I don't know what I'm going to do with all of them. I mentioned to my son, I sent him a message this morning. I said, you ever think about planting sweet potatoes? I said, I'm going to be planting some this week, and I've got so many sweet potato slips. I don't know where I'm going to plant them all. I can't plant them all. That's how I get my fiber every day, a glass of tea. Yeah, the 4th is coming up Thursday of this week. So I don't know. I'm thinking about still having the live Thursday, but I might try to go like I did last year and go somewhere where we can go live and actually watch the fireworks. So I don't know. We'll see how that ends up. I'm not sure. What do y'all think? Gonna make homemade pizza for dinner tonight. That sounds real good, Cindy. That's pretty nice, Patty, planting them in a wheelbarrow. Well, it's so hot. Those little sweet potatoes that I planted that Susan sent, they haven't come up yet. I think it's been too hot for them to come up. They're going to stay under the dirt where it's cooler. My onions are growing, though, that she sent me. Oh, that sounds fantastic, Susan. I love getting the bread, the whole loaf, and then you can slice it down the long way and flip it open and make that your pizza crust and just put it in the oven for about 30-40 minutes. I think on about 350, something like that. Oh, it comes out fabulous. But my problem is I want to eat it too fast. I don't want to wait for it to cool. Yeah, that sounds good. I know I can get a loaf of that bread here. Usually fresh baked bread, French bread, for $1 a loaf. That is, if I can get it a place that we can see the fireworks better than what I did last year. I got in the wrong spot last year and we couldn't see them that good. And I'm still debating on the parade. I don't know about that. Because they'll probably have the parade that morning. And it's going to be 100 degrees out there, 102. I don't know if I can handle it out there, y'all. I made it through it last year, but I don't think it hit 100. But standing on that pavement in maybe 100 degree weather, I don't know if I'll be able to do it this year. The pad has its own mind. Yeah. And there's Tenny. Fireworks drive animals crazy. Yeah, and I know they're going to be shooting them off here in this subdivision left and right. And they're not supposed to. It's supposed to be illegal, forbidden to shoot fireworks off in this subdivision. And they can be fined $200. And they told us at the last HOA meeting that they've got one of the cops that's going to be out here that night. And he's going to be making rounds, and if he finds people that are shooting off fireworks, they will be fined. And one guy at the meeting, he said, well, I don't care. I've shot fireworks off for my family every year since I've lived here, and I've lived here for a long time. And he said, guess what? I'm going to shoot them this year, too. I'll pay the fine. And, I mean, you think it would be okay because most people go down to the lake and shoot them toward the lake, so there's no danger of a fire. But you always get these oddball people that want to shoot them off at their house and they're not down on the lake, and they could very well start a fire. I'd like to go out for the daytime. Well, here the city shoots them off every year, but they go to the city beach. That beach that I showed y'all in my video, and it's right in town. They go to the city beach and they set up all the fireworks to where when it's shot off, it goes over the lake, right on the lake. So any sparks that fall in the water. So that makes that safe, to do that. Well, it's going to be hot this week, Susan. It's going to be in the triple digits every single day this week. And we're not getting any rain till like Friday of next week. So my plants are suffering already. By the time we get any rain, I don't know if they'll be alive or not. I've just tried to do the best I can with keeping water to them and compost tea. It gets real bad there. People don't care. They're right in the streets, yeah. By whose swimming pool, Alfonso? It depends on where you live. Your subdivision may not allow fireworks. Don't matter if you're beside a swimming pool or not. Yeah, so you got cooler temperatures than I have, Susan. I have no idea. Because I don't live where you do. I mean, you can't shoot them off at the city pool here. Yeah, we didn't have smoking at our swimming pool either when it was open years ago. Yeah, you know what? My uncle and my aunt were shooting off fireworks, and this one wasn't when they were kids. I don't even think they were hardly teenagers yet. And my uncle lit a cherry bomb, and he threw it. Unfortunately, he threw it toward my aunt, and it burst right almost at her face. And it hit the little black spot in her eye, and it caused it to rupture. So you can look at the little black spot in her eye, and it goes over on the blue part. It looks almost oval where the rupture part is, but she said it didn't uh, affect her sight, which was a good thing, you know, because she could have been blinded in that eye. Oh no, poor Tippy. Oh no, I wonder if she's getting sick with something. Or he, I don't know if Tippy's a girl or a boy. I know, they can't tell you what's wrong. They're babies. They, you know, just like our babies, they can't tell you what's hurting and how they feel. Like all they can do is cry or just whimper. It's a she, okay. And there's Big Jose. I hear that you have bear hugs. I don't know about bear hugs. Both your babies are she's. Yeah, I didn't remember. Here's our quote for today. If anybody's interested, I just came across it. It says, "Love cures people, both the ones who give it and the ones who receive it." So think about that. It makes you feel good to give, and it makes you feel good to receive, doesn't it? Well, you're looking at my shirt. I don't know what you're talking about. I know, Patty. We got looks like a troll in here. I don't know who Big Jose is, but he's not going to be a Big Jose in my chat if he keeps on. He'll be going elsewhere. Yep. Probably needs to be blocked. Yeah, that's right, Gladys. Susan said I had my trigger finger ready. Nope, he don't need to come in here starting to talk like that. My spidey senses went out at the first comment. Good for you, Susan. Good, Gladys. Well, if any of our silent viewers have birthdays today, you need to come into chat and let us know, because this is our birthday live. And I was trying to remember who I got that last prize off to. Oh well, they'll get it. I got it sent yesterday. I was late getting it in the mail. And I haven't done anything about frying the egg outside. I'm going to do it though. I just haven't figured out where I'm going to put it yet. To keep the animals away from it. Keep the insects off of it. In a spot where it's going to be hot enough on a rock. Yeah, well, it got put in the mail yesterday. I wanted to get it in the mail Friday, but I didn't get a chance to get out to the post office, but I got it mailed yesterday. Just the moderators. If your name is in blue, in chat, you're a moderator, so you can block people. Yeah, that's why their name is in blue. And they have that little wrench beside their name. That tells you they're a moderator and they can block people. They can delete their comments. That type of thing. That's the reason we have moderators, because you never know what troll or butthole's going to come into chat and leave some kind of unsavory remarks, you know. We got him covered. Well, I don't know. Can you block people if you're just in chat, if you're not a moderator? Tenny's saying if you're in a chat, you can block people's comments. You just go to the post that they made and click on the three dots and block them from your view. I don't think anybody can do that, Tenny. It's just the people that are moderators, just the people that their names show up in blue or a different color. Yeah, you might could do that. You might could block them from yourself, but you can't block them from everybody. You do it on the court TV chats. Yeah, I think you're blocking some comments just so you don't see them. But other people probably would see them. Just heard fireworks. Yeah, somebody around here yesterday was shooting fireworks off. Yeah, a moderator can block them from my channel. Alfonso said, do you have a big giant wrench? I need one to open my Powerade bottles. Yeah, like I said, I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. I mean, you can watch them on TV. I can bring them up on TV or on my computer, and we can watch the Granbury City's fireworks, because they do televise them. They televise the parade too. Susan said I needed one yesterday to free up the garbage disposal so I could run my dishwasher. His comment has been already blocked, Patty. So when you block somebody's comment, it deletes it out, so you don't see the comment anymore. Yeah, that's exactly why. He's already blocked, so his comment disappeared. I wish DS grandkids would come back. He said he didn't like some of the comments people were putting in live chat the last time he was here. And he actually unsubscribed him a channel. He deleted out his email so I couldn't even email him. But then I got an email from him. He apologized and he said he wasn't mad at me, but he had some bad things going on that day anyway, and he got upset at somebody's comments. But I have not seen him back in the comment. And I was hoping he'd come back, because I enjoyed having DS grandkids in my chat. Oh, and before I forget it, I got this yesterday. It's from Cincinnati. No return address. But look at that kitty. He's got a bell on his collar. I thought it was a cute card. And it does have money in it, which I greatly appreciate. It says, "Dear Linda," and some of these words I can't make out, but I have been watching your videos on YouTube for a while now. For some reason, I am not able to add to the comments of any YouTube channel, so that is why I am having to physically write to you. Just watched your Easter cake video and would like to suggest that you research cakes that taste like bakery cakes where they add one more egg and substitute melted butter instead of oil. And then double the amount instead of water. Use whole milk instead of the water. Follow the directions on the box otherwise. So she gave me a tip on how to maybe improve my cakes, go a little step further, what they tell you on a box cake anyway. She says, "I enjoy watching your cats and seeing all the gardening jobs that you do. It amazes me how much work you are able to do. I am 76, going on 77 in October. Wishing you could do a video on hot slaw. It consists of vinegar, sugar, cabbage, bacon. I am enclosing a little bit of money for you to use however you want to. Please show your holding up and loving from Buddy and Lucky." So I appreciate that, Buddy and Lucky. I appreciate the card, the kind thoughts, and I do appreciate the offering that you sent to me. It will be put to good use. Yeah, she was one of the ones that sent me an email wanting my address because they wanted to send me something. And I didn't realize she couldn't get into chat or post anything in chat. But still, she would have had to have sent the request by email anyway to get my mailing address. Big Joe 33, hello. Oh, you heard of that on some other videos where they couldn't post anything? Big Joe 33 said, "I would like the bear hug bear hug you and look. Bye, Big Joe 33. Someone take him out. Thank you. That was so rude. You don't come into a live chat and say stuff like that. That's uncalled for. He must be a kid or a fool. One or the other. Yeah, like I said, Big Joe 33 is either a kid or he's a fool. Both. Gladys. She says another asshole blocked. And there's Elaine Dickinson. Hello, Elaine. Glad you could make it. Tenny says, I think Big Joe and Big Jose are related. Yeah, they must be. Could be the same person using different names. You know, sometimes they do that. They'll set up several different names with accounts and then they flip around from one to the other so they don't use the same name all the time. Brothers. Probably. Another butt hits the dust. Yep, you'll hit the dust if you come in here with that kind of stuff. Don't suffer the fools. And there's Priz Desro. I don't know. That must be a new subscriber because I don't recognize that name. Prez Desro. Wilson Todd, hello from San Antonio. I can't read all of it because it's behind the heart. Well, welcome to our chat, Wilson Todd from San Antonio. I went to San Antonio years ago. I love the Riverwalk. Go Spurs, go. Oh, they have a ball game today? Exactly, Connie. Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. Oh, my. Okay, Priz is in Priscilla is not totally new. Okay. I guess we don't have any birthdays for this month, huh? Nobody said in chat that their birthday was in June. We had wedding anniversaries and other stuff, but not a birthday. I guess I should have changed the title of the live to show June birthdays. June birthday celebration. Who are you asking that, Wilson Todd? You're asking somebody if you're in Fort Worth, Texas, or Dallas. Who are you asking that question? Oh, me. I'm in Granbury, Texas. I'm about an hour's drive south of Fort Worth and Dallas on Granbury Lake. And it's hot here. Hot, hot, hot. It's 99 degrees right this moment. It just popped up on the bar across my computer screen. 99 degrees. And it's supposed to hit 100. So it's still got another degree to go. Either 100 or 101 today, I think. Let's see how hot it was supposed to get. Yeah, it's supposed to hit 100, so it's got one more temperature to go. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it's going to possibly hit 102. They're predicting 40% chance of rain Friday and 30% chance on Saturday. Oh my goodness, keep up the good work. You mean a lot to people in their own. Thank you so much, Elaine Dickinson, for that super chat. Love you for that. Thank you. Yeah, you don't know what hot is until you lived in Texas. Because it's just like people say. It's either hot or it's cold. It's either raining or you got a drought. There's no in between. Just like last month, we had storm after storm after storm. Everything was flooded. And then all of a sudden the rain quit, the storm stopped. Now we're in a drought with triple digits. I wish it was the high 80s here. My garden would love the 80s. How is your SCST? I don't know what that is. Oh, Cat. He's outside there, but Lucky and little Buddy are laying on the concrete where it's cooler. They get up close to the house on the rocks and lay down because underneath the house gets cold from the AC unit running, circulating the air. So they lay up close to that and it keeps them cooler. If it gets too hot, little Buddy will come scratching at the door wanting to come in. He hasn't done that today, except for this morning when he got fed. Oh, now we got another Jose 34. Someone take Jose 34 out, please. Goodbye, Jose. Better luck next time. Yeah, and see, it's not so humid here because it's so dry. But you open the door and it feels like you stepped out in an oven. There's April. Hello, April. How's April doing today? Yeah, I keep water outside for both of them. And then if little Buddy gets too hot, he'll come to the door and he'll come in. And he'll get close to the vent on the floor and he'll lay down. You know how he lays down with his belly flat on the floor? And he'll cool off. Yep, another asshole blocked. Man, how many has that been today? 3? I think they're all the same person or they're related. Good, April. Glad to hear that. Hey, I thought it was 3 or 4 because I don't know what it is. They're sure coming in today, aren't they? There's Ruth Smith. Hello, Ruth. Welcome to our chat. Make some pork rinds. If I did anything, I'd try to make cracklings. I love cracklings. And they're easier to chew than the pork rinds. I love pork rinds, but I buy them at the store. They're so hard. You break your teeth on some of them. I have no idea, Patty C. We got some weirdos coming in here today. I guess they have nothing better to do. That's what you hear running. I'm sure you hear that noise in the background. That's my central air running. It runs constantly this time of day. It doesn't even turn off. You could not survive out here in your house without AC. I mean, I'd be in the yard or I'd be down on the lake in the water where it was cool because it'd be so hot in this house you couldn't stand it. Because it always gets hotter in these mobile homes than it does outside. So if it's 100 degrees outside, it's probably going to be 115, 120 inside. Yep, they need to get a life and do something good. Kids and creeps. Yeah, with these kind of temperatures, you've got to have AC. But I tell you what, there was one summer I lived out here. My AC broke down. I didn't have the money to replace it or fix it. I spent the whole summer with no AC. I thought I was going to die. I would take my lounge chair out on the patio, and it was cool enough you could sleep out there, but the mosquitoes would eat you alive. So they'd run me in the house. And finally I figured out to take a towel, wet it with really cold water, or either get an ice pack. That was the best thing to do, is take an ice pack, roll it in a towel, put it behind your neck back here and lay down on it on the pillow, and it would cool me down and I'd go right to sleep. I'd sleep all night long. After that, I didn't mind it too bad because I could get a good night's sleep. But you know, by the time you woke up the next morning, it was getting hot already again. But it was miserable trying to be in the house during the day. It definitely make you get outside and do something because you couldn't stay inside. Well, they're kind of neat because everything is, well, it used to be everything in its place because you didn't have a whole lot of place to put anything. But I'm getting kind of cramped now. 79 where Perez is, and it's raining. Oh, that sounds so good. If it would be 79 degrees here and get some heavy rain. My garden would love it. Yep, that's exactly right, Connie. They're yearning to get a licking. Yeah, you have to do something like that, Tenny. But I spent the whole summer with no AC. My kids were already moved out. They had already grown and left home. So I was here by myself. And I suffered. I did not have the money to replace that AC unit, and I didn't have the money to fix it even if it could be fixed. But finally, I was able to come up with some money to replace it. And that's when I put in my central air. I had a window unit until then, and I've never taken the old window unit out, which I need to do, and put my windows back in. But I just haven't done it. I didn't want to pay somebody to do it. They charge you arm and leg, and then they'll probably leave my window leaking when they do that. So I said I may just do it myself one of these days. But yeah, I put my central air unit in, and my electric bill was cut in half by doing that. Because that window unit, it would run day and night, and it would charge. Oh, it was $350 a month, easy. And you only have to run it during the day, not even running it at night. Beautiful day in Hawaii, 76 degrees and sunshiny. That sounds so good. Ruth Smith says, I love watermelon. I do too. Yeah, you're originally from southern New Mexico and West Texas, and I remember how hot it gets in the triple-digit temperatures all summer. Yeah, it gets hot. Yeah, it gets hot in your car. And now the new cars, you couldn't handle it because they don't have that little triangle window right at the edge of the front window. You used to could open them, and as you're driving down the highway, it would catch the air and it would blow the breeze on you, and it was like having a fan blow on you to keep you cool. These new cars don't have that little window, that little triangle. So you can't do that if you don't have AC. All you can do is leave the whole big window down. Oh, I can imagine, Patty C. When you lose your AC, it's terrible. And there's Grandma Teresa. I have a van, no air in it, so I don't go anywhere much. Wing vents, yeah, I couldn't remember the name of them. I used to love those because I drive 20 miles to Wilmington from my hometown to work every day. And it didn't have AC. The cars didn't have AC back then. And I'd open those little wing vents on each side to where the air would blow toward me. And going down the highway, you stayed cool. But these new cars don't have them, so you don't have the option to do that. You either have AC or you keep all the windows down and still you're hot. The weather's much different in northern Texas. Huh. What's the temperature where you're at, Barbara? My old Cavalier that I used to have, I bought it new, but I had it for almost 20 years. My AC went out on it, and it was not under warranty, and they told me they couldn't fix it. They had to replace it. They said the kind of AC unit I had in my car, the whole unit come out, and they just replaced the whole thing. And it was like $2,300. But to me, as long as I could pay the $2,300, it was worth it to have that AC back in my car. And there's Janet Delaney. Hello, Janet. She says, we ain't got the weather problem. Shocking in England. I know everything is so expensive now, Grandma Teresa. When I bought the car I got now, I wasn't sure if I was ever able to buy another one at my age. So I put a lifetime wrap bumper to bumper warranty on my car. And it costs several $1,000s to do that, and you have to do it when you buy the car. You can't wait a year and then do it. So, because I knew how expensive everything was. I said I wouldn't be able to afford to pay to get my car fixed, and I rely on my car. I've got to have my car. I can't go anywhere without my car. And there's Paula Bordeaux. Thank you for that super chat. Bless you, girl. Thank you. Well, unfortunately, if I had my car and the AC went out and I couldn't afford to fix it, I'd have to just drive it and be hot, because I've got to go get groceries. There's places I have to go. That we don't have public transportation here. I mean, I can call someone like an Uber to come pick me up and drop me off, and I guess pick me up later, but Barb says, why you being mean to the subscriber, Jose or whoever? They were making some bad comments, Barb. Their comments that they were putting in chat were not nice comments. That's why they got blocked, or they got deleted. Yeah, there's always places and things you got to do, and you got to have an automobile. She may be thinking about a different Jose. I mean, maybe Alfonso. It wasn't Alfonso. It was a Jose. Yeah, I'd just have to put my windows down and drive it anyway. And hope that I could stay halfway cool. Yeah, there was 3 of them in here, Barb, that were making bad comments. I think they all knew one another, or they were all the same person, but they were making basically the same kind of comments that were not very nice. Yeah, unfortunately, this time of year, my central air stays on so much that all my videos, my lives, you're going to hear that in the background, because there's no way to avoid it. My central air unit is noisy when it's running, and I can't turn it off. It's too hot. And there we got another Jose 345. Yeah, see, he's doing the same thing the other ones did. He says, hello, beautiful lady. I love looking at your chest. I would like... See, they're all saying the same crap. So I think it's all the same person, or it's all people that know one another that are in here just to aggravate us. It's probably the same guy, just using a different name. he's a pervert. Or he's a kid, don't have any better sense. Yep, it's one of those trolls. You block him under one name, he creates another one and comes right back in. Yeah, probably, Susan. It's one of those illegals we're giving free stuff to. Exactly, Paula. Some people don't have any manners. Wilson said he made poor man's soup last night. Boy, was it good. Well, I'm so happy you made it, Wilson. Yep, that's right, Patty. Start coming in my chat and making rude comments. Somebody's going to take you out. Well, I'm going to show you the little birthday cake thing that I fixed. It's not much different than the other one. To all the birthday people, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you. And I'm squeaking, happy birthday, June birthdays, happy birthday to you, and many more. I hope the wish comes true. Oh no, Paula just lost electricity. Got to catch up later. Claire, okay. How old are you, Linda? I'm too old. It's not my birthday. We had been starting to celebrate birthdays one time each month, and for June, I almost forgot the June birthday, so we did it now. Only we didn't have anybody in chat that had a birthday today or this month. I think they're all next month. Alfonso said, Linda's my age. I'm 40. Well, bless you, Alfonso. I've told my age so many times I don't even like to tell it anymore. I'm starting to believe it. My allergies. My allergies are so bad right now, I can't sing. But I tried. Becky says 84. I'm not quite 84 yet, but it won't be long. Yeah, Claire asked me how old I was. When I was younger, when they'd ask me how old I was, I'd tell people I'm old enough to eat cornbread without getting choked on it. And sometimes now I think I'm too old to eat cornbread without getting choked on it. I'm not. I'm tired of telling my age over the YouTube world. Yeah, I'm sure one of our subscribers has a birthday today. They're just not in chat to let us know. But if you're one of my viewers or my chat, my subscribers, that was your birthday wish for today, this month. Juanita says, I'm just a day older than yesterday. Yep, we all are. Put butter on it. What am I going to put butter on? I got whipped cream all over it. It's got strawberries. It's got strawberries under the whipped cream. And my whipped cream's melting. Yeah, old enough to know better. Janet Delaney says 71, Linda, definitely. Becky says I'll be 68 in July. Well, I got you beat a little bit. Yeah, I was thinking of Gladys when I did that. Gladys, you're going to have to watch my video that I'm going to post tomorrow, because your sons may want to fix some of it for you. It's real easy. Oh, on the cornbread. Yeah, you definitely got to put some butter on that hot cornbread. I love cornbread when it's hot. Just cover it in butter. And there's Louisiana Homestead. I just remembered you were on right now and wanted to tell everyone hello. Well, hello, Louisiana Homestead. I'm glad you could make it. Enjoyed the catfish cooking. I had a lot of comments coming in from people. They said it was a good video and the recipe looked good, but they didn't like fish and they didn't like catfish. And some of them said that the catfish was so expensive where they lived, they never bought it. So they didn't have the catfish to cook with. And that's the reason I told them in the video. I said a lot of people go fishing and sooner or later you're going to catch a catfish, make you some chowder or some catfish soup. I mean, I catch catfish out here. So, it's always good to fix it some other way than fried all the time. I mean, I love fried catfish. But it's nice to fix catfish soup or catfish chowder, occasionally. Why don't I write a cookbook and sell it? Well, that's the idea, but you got to find some place to get it published and all that and get it on the market to sell it. I mean, I could sell it through YouTube, my channel, but yeah, well, that same recipe for the chowder and the catfish soup, you can use salmon instead of the catfish. You can use any kind of fish that doesn't completely flake apart when it's cooked. I mean, you don't want to overcook it because it will come apart. But salmon or catfish, and there's several other fishes that I forget the name of it, that's real good to put in a chowder or a soup like I made. In fact, the salmon would be real good. I love salmon. I don't know who I would get to publish a cookbook. Panfish. I don't know what a panfish is. Oh, wait. I've gained 10 pounds. Yay me, I look a lot better. Well, I wish I could lose a little bit. You got a super nice a sunfish, okay. Yeah, you can use any type of fish in those both of those recipes, the chowder or the soup, that doesn't just completely flake apart when you cook it. I've only ever used, I think, the catfish or salmon. Sometimes I add shrimp. I didn't have any this time, so I didn't add shrimp to it. But most of the time when I make the catfish soup, I don't ever put shrimp in it because I don't usually have it. Oh, really, Perez? I'll have to check into Amazon, see about having books published. What's catfish called in England? I have no idea. Churches have cookbooks made all the time. Maybe they could point you in the right direction of publishing a cookbook. Sounds like a lot of work, but it could be profitable. It could be. My boyfriend leaves to go on tour in September. He will be gone for 7 months. He's one of those rockers, April. Traveling around with a band. Yeah, April, he's in the military. That's the reason I said he was traveling around with the band. He's the drummer for this rock band. April knows a lot of cool people, from what I understand. Wilson says, cook some fried chicken. I did a fried chicken video pretty good while back. Might be about time to do another one. Maybe a little different one. I couldn't believe that this month crept up on me. When I realized today's the 30th, this is the last day of the month, I thought to myself, what? Already? Where did June go? This coming week is the 4th of July. Oh my God. His wife passed away a year ago. She was a model. I don't know what it is, but it seems like a lot of people that play with bands that travel like that, their wives are models. I've known quite a few that had models that were their wives. Like Mick Jagger, his wife was a model. I don't know if she still models or not, but I know she was. Oh yeah, I remember Tom Jones. I know, especially when you're busy with the garden and the yard and the house and don't have time for anything. The days just go by like that. I mean, she was very beautiful. He's not a player or a cheater. Well, let's hope not. I've not seen a church cookbook. And that's CS Nanny. Well, hi. I didn't see you earlier in chat. You must have just popped in. I don't know. A lot of the cookbooks that I've seen recipes in, I don't like. I mean, and I mean everybody and anybody seems like they love green bean casserole. Guess what? I hate it. I wouldn't eat it if you gave it to me. I don't like it. So I'd never make it. Juanita says back later. Okay. I was at some kind of function one time and they had green bean casserole. And one of my friends said, "Oh, you got to try this green bean casserole. It is so good." I said, "Well, I don't think I care for green bean casserole. I've never eaten it." "Oh, you got to try it then. It's so good. You'll love it." I put some of that in my plate and I started eating it. Oh, it was awful. I said, "No, I don't like this. I would never waste my time to make it either." Yeah, I'd rather have my beans just plain green beans. I don't need them put in mushroom soup and what is it? Those onion things they put on them. I just thought it was gross. I hated it. No way. I don't ever want green bean casserole. Oh, I guess, depends on who makes it, whether it's good or not. And maybe I just got hold of a bad one that somebody made. I don't know, but it was awful. I said, I wouldn't waste my time putting that stuff in the pan. I got some Taste of Home cookbooks at Goodwill last week. Don't care for the green bean casserole. Yeah, I don't. I don't ever buy cream of mushroom soup to put in anything because I don't buy mushrooms because I am somewhat allergic to them. I mean, I love fried mushrooms with onions and stuff, but I don't buy them because I don't eat them. Once in a while, if I'm out somewhere, I'll eat mushrooms, but not very often. And I did love TGI Fridays fried mushrooms you get as an appetizer at their restaurant. Oh, they're so good, but I can't eat very many. But I did go there one time with a friend of mine, and we ate fried mushrooms while we were waiting for a meal. April says my dog just had fried chicken. Well, lucky him. Yeah, I usually use cream of chicken if I need to put something like that in anything, but I don't ever make green bean casserole. That's just a waste of time and effort for me. Yeah, I had not eaten there either, but a friend of mine went up there a lot to get their bloomin' onions, and he said, "Have you ever had a bloomin' onion?" I said, "No, what is a bloomin' onion?" And he told me it was a great big old onion, and the way they cut it, they fry the whole thing at one time and batter it, and it comes out and it looks like a flower almost, like it's blooming, it's opening it up. And it is so good to eat that, to pull the pieces off and dip it in their sauce and eat it while it's still hot. Oh, and I love onions, so I was all for it. And it was really good. But they're too hard to try to make at home for one blooming onion. That's the reason I came up with my recipe, how I chop my onions up and put them in the batter and make my fried onion. I don't even remember what I called them. They were fried onion rings in a patty. But they taste just like the fried onions. So, fried onion rings. I've never heard of mushroom coffee. I've never heard of that either. I don't think I'll ever try mushroom coffee because I don't know what that would do to me. That'd be stronger than just eating a mushroom, probably. I might taste it, but it doesn't sound appealing to me. Yeah, mushroom coffee does not sound appealing. Not to me. And there's CS Nanny. Got Scott on. I was watching you this morning. I don't like green bean casserole either. And everybody makes them. I want my green beans cooked in a pot. Yeah, I do too. Now, I might throw some potatoes in my green beans or a piece of ham or two. But I don't want it in a casserole. You can have your casseroles. Really? I didn't know that, Perez. I didn't know they had mushroom coffee at all. I keep my head in the sand. It's supposed to be good for you. Yeah, but it's not going to be good for you if you're allergic to mushrooms. And there's Teresa Allen. Hello. Love your show. You remind me of my grandma. Well, thank you. I take that as a compliment because I am a grandma. My granddaughter's 21 years old. My one and only grandchild. Oh my God, April, that sounds so good. She went to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and had crab and lobster they bring out on this big ice thing. Well, I'm not used to going out. I love crab and lobster. Oh my God, I could eat my weight in that. I'm jealous. I'll do without the beef tripe. You can have it, Wilson. I think the last time I went to Red Lobster, I went years ago with my daughter and her husband and mother-in-law, and I got crab legs. And I love crab legs, but those that I got there that day were not good. They had soft shells on them. I've never gotten a crab leg with soft shells before. So I figured something was wrong with them. Oh, I love lobster. Oh my God. I'd rather have the lobster any day than the crab, but the crab's right up there too. I love crab, lobster, shrimp, most types of fish I love. Mushroom coffee is also called chaga. I guess that's the whole word. I don't know. It's behind the heart. Chaga, yeah. Well, that is good to know, April. Maybe there's another one out there I'll come across like that. Doesn't drink or smoke. That sounds like a man for me. Yep. I do too, Connie. There's not hardly anything that comes out of the ocean or fresh water that I don't like. Now I don't like the eel. I don't want octopus. And a lot of times I don't want clams, and except for who fixes them. Now I love clams if they're fixed right, but not if they're tough to where you can't even chew them. You had a reaction to the crab last night at the Chiba buffet, so don't eat that. Well, we don't have a Chiba buffet here. Or China buffet. I don't know what you were saying. We do have a China buffet, but it's been a long, long time since I went in there and ate anything. And there's Sheila McDaniel. Hello, Sheila. I don't know. They say shark meat is pretty good. I don't think I've ever tried it. So I don't know if I'd like it or not. China buffet. That's what I thought you meant. Yeah, we do have a China buffet here. And I did like it the few times that I've been there. But it's just been probably several years since I've been there to eat. Because I don't really like going to restaurants by myself to eat. I usually just go through a fast food place or some smaller restaurant, so I'm not so conspicuous of being walking in by myself. Chaga grows wild on trees. Lots of people off-grid drink it. Yeah, when you can get it fresh right from the seaport, that's the best patty. See, when I lived in North Carolina, everything came right out of the ocean. I mean, you got fresh oysters, fresh fish, fresh shrimp, fresh everything. We'd go clam digging. We'd catch our own crabs. One of the first things I had to do one time when I went home to North Carolina was go to Bandana's restaurant and get me some fried oysters. Oh my God, I could think about those things all the way home. I could taste them. I love fried oysters. I don't want them on the half shell, but I love them fried. And I love them in an oyster stew if they're little oysters. Oh my God, Leland. That's not far from my hometown. You probably even know people in my hometown because some of the people that used to live there that I grew up with, their part of their family was from Leland. I'm from a little town called Atkinson. You probably have heard of that before if you lived in Leland. I remember going through that area, the paper mill. Oh my God, it would almost take your breath. Around Regalwood and Leland. Have you ever been to Atkinson, Teresa? One of the girls I grew up with, her sister lived in Leland. Part of her family, her relatives lived in Leland. That debate was hilarious. I saw like 5 seconds of it, and I thought to myself, I don't need to listen to this. So I flipped it over to something else. I think I found a movie and watched it after my live was over. Wilson, let me go with you out to eat. Well, I haven't decided where I'm going to go the next live that I take y'all with me. I don't know where I want to go yet. And it's got to be a place they don't play music because I can't, they won't monetize my video if they play music in the restaurant. So I have to be careful. I know it's not going to be Chili's. It's not going to be Grumpy's or Stumpy's because they play music. I'll have to find a good place to go that they don't play music the whole time you're sitting there. April says, I'm out here in the middle of the ocean, a sitting target. Yeah, a lot of times I'll go to McDonald's or Burger King or Wendy's or Jack in the Box or somewhere like that and just go through the drive-thru and bring it home. Or sometimes I might go in and sit down and eat because there's usually always other people by themselves in those places. But you go to a real restaurant, there's always couples or families. It's never, hardly ever just one person. Well, right now it's too hot to eat outside. Chili's does not have an outside seating area for you to sit and eat at, so that's out. Stumpy's does, but they play music outside and inside, so that's out. Yeah, that's what I do. I usually cook everything at home. Gladys loves me when I take her for a ride. Our Minute Stopped has really good fried chicken. Sonic is good. The onion rings have cornbread batter, huh? Well, if you love onion rings, you need to watch that video that I did on the onion rings, the easy, simple way to fix them. Because when you eat them, you don't know that you're not eating an onion ring. I mean, it's not an onion ring, it's not a circle, but it is onion in the batter the way I cook it, and it tastes just like the onion ring. Oh my God, I could get addicted to those. I'd gain 50 pounds eating those. Well, that's what I did with a couple of videos that I've done. I had to mute the soundtrack and then narrate over it. But I don't like doing that. C.S. Nanny's fixing to go in the kitchen and cook her some macaroni, tomatoes, and hamburger meat. That sounds good. I don't know what I'm going to fix. I was thinking about fixing some ground beef, maybe a hamburger or something. But you know what? Macaroni and cheese sounds real good to go with a hamburger. I haven't fixed macaroni and cheese in a long time. But I still got catfish soup. I still got catfish chowder in the refrigerator. Need to do something with that, so I hate to cook something else, but I've got ground beef in there that needs to be cooked too. Cindy says, I'm back, just made a grilled peanut butter and jelly for lunch. That sounds good. MLT, hey Linda, I'm in New York too. No, North Carolina. You're in my top 5 YouTube subscriptions. Well, thank you, MLT. What part of North Carolina are you in? Yeah, I need to make some stir fry pretty soon coming up. I don't know what kind yet. But I got that thin round steak that I bought, and I promised Susan I'd make a couple of recipes with that, and I haven't made them yet. But I've got it frozen. It's divided up in individual packages, so I can take some out and thaw it out and cook it whenever I decide to do that. Wilkes County, okay. Offhand, I don't know how close that is to Pender County. My hometown is in Pender County. You're close to the NASCAR racetrack. Oh, wow. I like corn chowder without the fish. Well, it's good with the fish if you like fish. It's even better with salmon because you have that salmon taste in there. But I like the catfish is just as well. Okay, CS Nanny, you have a good night and a good day tomorrow. Yep, that's one of the possums that I caught that used to reside under my house. He was one of the little ones. He's in a live trap. I put the whole trap in the car, in the trunk, and I took it down the road several miles. I took the cage out, put it on the ground, opened the door, and watched him scoot across the field. And I told him goodbye, don't ever come back. I took the picture of this one so I could show it to my granddaughter because I knew she wouldn't believe me if I told her that I caught one. Now I can't get it back up here. She came over here one day. Now this was when she was little, because that's a picture of her right here, swinging on the tire swing. She was about that size when she came over here, and she saw that picture of the possum on the refrigerator. She says, "Grandma, what is that?" I said, "That's possum that used to live under the house." "You got possum under your house?" I said, "Well, he was there. He's not there anymore." She thought that was so neat. And I caught a raccoon that was under the house. I caught him in a live trap. But I caught 4 or 5 different possum over time, in that trap. The hurricane is up to a Cat 4 and not even in the hot part of the ocean where it can strengthen. Wow. That doesn't sound good. Pender County is 275 miles from Wilkes County. Yeah, I had those fillets that I had were frozen from last year. And I forgot to mention it in that video of the catfish soup. Whenever you cook all your vegetables, and put your tomatoes in or your tomato soup or however you fix yours, I forgot to mention before I put my fish in, you can put that in the blender and purify it, or what do you call it? Liquefy it to where it's just like a creamy sauce, and then put it back in the pot, and then add your fish to cook your fish. You might have to add just a tiny bit of water. Puree, yeah, that's what I was trying to think of. I never can think of my words when I'm telling anybody anything. But if you don't like the vegetables in their whole like that, I've done that sometimes. I'll take it out, throw it in the blender, and puree the liquid and the vegetables, and then put it back in the pot, and then put my fish in there to cook it. It's good either way. It's just whether you like the chunks of the carrots and the onions and stuff like that in your soup or not. I've done it both ways. Critters love cat food. I know. I opened the door one night to see if little buddy was out there on the porch, and I had just turned the light on, opened the door, and looked down to little buddy, and there was a possum standing 2 feet away from him on the porch. He come up there to get little buddy's food, but surprise to him, the bowl was empty because I was going to give little buddy some more food. But the possum ran off, and I left the light on, so hopefully he didn't come back. And I went ahead and gave little buddy some more food and put it out there, because the possums don't like the daylight. They come out at night and roam around. They don't like the light. Okay, April. Seems like everybody has problems off and on with their internet. Yeah, like I said, I have not decided what I'm going to do about the 4th of July, since it's on Thursday, and we usually have our live on Thursday. I may just go ahead and do the live and just do it here at the house. I just don't know yet. Oh, yeah, I'm sure they love your figs, Louisiana Homestead. My brother was feeding all kind of critters when he planted his garden behind his house every year. He lived so far out in the country. Oh my God, the deer and all the animals knew exactly when his tomatoes were turning right. They'd come in his garden and eat every one of his tomatoes that were turning. He said, I'd be watching those tomatoes and be waiting for them to ripen up a little bit so I could pick them. And maybe give them one more day, and I'd go out there to pick them, and they'd be gone. The deer had already eaten them. I said, well, the next time they start turning the slightest bit, pick them. Bring them in the house and let them ripen on the counter. At least that way you'll get some of your tomatoes that the deer won't eat them all. And he said they did that to everything in his garden. He had a beautiful garden, but the critters would eat everything. Yeah, it's still hot. Sorry about that, y'all. I don't know what I'm breathing right now that it's making me sneeze. Oh my goodness. It's got to be something coming up from that vent. Thank you. Do live July for Thursday. Well, I usually have the live on Thursdays at 7 o'clock. 7 p.m. Central Time. And the ones on Sundays are usually 3 o'clock. Louisiana homestead, I think that's one of the things that's of the past, just like manners and everything else. Rain coming, that's why that was happening. Yeah, with me too, usually. Well, thank you, Cindy. My eyes are tearing up. Yeah, but Susan, the only thing about that is everybody doesn't like the same things. They might like something and someone else may not. Your husband says sorry. Just like my cooking videos, everybody doesn't like what I fix. But that's okay. They don't have to cook it. Make coffee, Linda. No, you can't please everybody. I mean, I can just cook what things that I like, and I know the recipes are good that I fixed over the years, and assume that somebody's going to like it too. I know everybody's not going to like everything I cook. And that's to be expected because, like I said, everybody doesn't like the same things. Yeah, those cabbage and squash fritters were really good, April. Yeah, you can please people some of the time. You have a good night too, Perez. Have a nice day tomorrow as well. Enjoy your family. Exactly. No recipes written in stone. You can always tweak it and change it to suit yourself. Yeah, and if you don't like fish, maybe you like shrimp or clams or crab or some other kind of seafood that you can put in that soup or the chowder instead of the fish. Hey, you can even, if you like chicken, you can cut up chunks of chicken and put in that chowder and in that soup instead of the fish. You don't have to put a seafood in there. And you don't have to put the hot pepper spice in there that I put in mine. I put hot pepper flakes in mine. You don't have to put it in yours. It's good without it. You're exactly right, Teresa Allen. I cook country. That's the only way I know how to cook. I countryfy everything. I can even take some of these elite, fancy dishes these chefs cook, and I tweak them and I turn them into country. I can't help myself. I guarantee you give me a recipe, I'm going to turn it into country. That's all I know. Louisiana Homestead. Just like that green bean casserole. If I wanted to, I could mess with that thing and the ingredients with it, and I might could come up with a casserole that I liked, but it won't be nothing like the green bean casserole everybody else knows. I'm going to put a country hurtin' on it. April said my husband was from Virginia. He would have loved your cooking. It might make a good video. Well, that's okay, Sheila. You don't have to be country or southern. I love homemade Scrabble. I don't make it with the I make mine with pork roast leftovers. I don't think I've ever made scrappy. Well, good for you, Tanny. You don't make it with the innards of the pig. You use pork roast. Now that I might could eat. I've cooked buttermilk biscuits many a time. I've got videos on me making homemade biscuits in different ways. Stovetop biscuits. Yeah, I don't want hog head cheese. I don't want anything that went into hog head cheese. That stuff's gross. They make that back home and I've never eaten it and I don't want it. It's the same as souse. I don't know. I don't eat souse meat and I don't eat hog head cheese. No, I'm not eating a hog brain. Don't sound too good, does it? Nope. Hog brain don't either. Ooh, no. I like fish eggs with my scrambled eggs. I like to take them and scramble them up in my eggs. But that's caviar. You're eating caviar with your eggs, your scrambled eggs. I can handle that. They're pretty good. I haven't had any in a long time, though. Yeah, there's certain parts of an animal I don't want to eat. Yep, eggs with eggs. That's exactly right. Yeah, I don't either. I don't want cooked or raw brains at all. But the fish roe, which is fish eggs, we used to get it out of the shad when the shad were running, and my dad and his brother would use a dip net to. They'd take the boat out with this net, and they'd catch all these shad, and they had big, long rows in them, about that long, and you could take them and break them really good. But you're right. You're eating eggs with eggs. Or I liked them battered and fried and just eat the fish roe. It was real good. I said, well, that's my caviar. That's the caviar that I like. I know I don't eat cow tongue either. Just the thought of it, just no, I don't want it. No, thank you. Don't want to sound stupid, but I think I missed who KK is. Yep, it was. I was just about to say it was Louisiana Homestead. She's KK. I think she's the one that sells the fingernails. She's got the fingernail business. She was in one of her lives one time, and I I thought it was a food pantry she was videoing in, and it was shelves of containers of ladies' fingernails, false fingernails. No, I don't want no mountain oysters. No, thank you. I'll do without. I'm not that hungry yet. Yeah, I don't want mountain oysters. I don't want the genitals of a cow or a pig or any of those critters. Yeah, I didn't associate the Louisiana homestead with KK until she was in one of my she was on screen with us that time, and she's got a lady fingernail false fingernail business. I don't know a attractive way to put it, but that's KK. I've watched some of those Oriental cooking videos, in China and Japan and different places. They eat that stuff. Not me. Uh-uh. And I know people right here in the States eat it too, but I'm not eating it. Hog jaw and rice. I'd probably come closer to eating a hog jaw and rice than some of this other stuff. Yes, she is, April. Her hubby showed up in the picture when she was on my live that time. No, I don't eat chitlins. I eat cracklins. I like the cracklings and I like the pork rinds, but I don't eat the chitlins. My dad does, or he did when he was alive. I've eaten red eye gravy. It's pretty good. Yeah, listen to April. He's cute too. April don't miss a thing. So if you're in the market for false fingernails, ladies, KK could probably fix you up. That was funny that time. I was asking her, I said, well, are you in your food pantry? Because it looked like she had jars and cans of stuff on shelves way behind her. You couldn't tell what it was. And she said, no, that's fingernails. I said, oh, really? I don't want pig feet. My dad loved pickled pig feet. I will not touch them. I don't want any part of a pig's foot. You can have my share of those. I don't want chicken feet. I don't want pig's feet, horse feet, cow feet, or nothing else. I only had a manicure in my... I have to wait till it jumps up. It's behind. Can't read all the comment in my life, LOL. I only had one manicure in my life, LOL. I used to go quite often when I worked in Fort Worth, but I haven't went to the shop in years to get my nails done. I mean, you can tell my nails aren't done. If they get done, I do them myself, and I got a bruise on this one. I banged it on something out in the yard the other day. I've never had oxtail. Fly free, no fear. You must be a new one. I've not seen your name in here before. But I've never eaten oxtail. I don't know if I'd want it or not. Yeah, I do my nails myself. Even when they're toward the end, even when I use the false nails, I still did them myself. They're not too bad, but I can't keep nail polish on them. I guess it's because I keep my hands in water so much. Gardening and cooking and stuff like that. The tail of a cow. I don't think I want the tail of a cow. I'll pass. Oh, Susan, only you. She says I don't do my nails because I can pee right before I start to paint them, and I instantly have to pee again. That's happened to me a time or two, and then you can't use your hands. What are you supposed to do? Well, yeah, oxtail soup is probably good if they take the tail, they probably chop it up in little sections, and I'm sure there's meat on the bone. I just never have eaten it. But I've eaten pretty much the rest of the cow except the innards mostly and the brains and the genitals. I don't want that. But yeah, that's happened to me a time or two. I've gotten them perfect. And then I'd have to go to the bathroom or something where I had to use my hands. And there was no way I could do it without messing my nails up. Bone broth is good and it's healthy for you. That's one reason I keep my turkey carcass and all that, is I put it in a pot later. I freeze them. I put part of them in the pot later in the year, and then just cook those bones to death and make you a good broth that it turns into a really good soup, or makes a really good dumpling, and it's healthy because you got all that bone broth in there. Yeah, I've taken roasted chickens and get a lot of the meat off, and use it, eat it or whatever, and then take the whole carcass and throw it in the pot and just boil it to death. And it makes a good broth to make a soup or dumplings or anything in. In fact, I've got a turkey carcass divided up into 2 or 3 packages in the freezer right now that I need to take out and try to cook, make something with it. If I don't, it's going to be Thanksgiving again, and I'm still going to have that same turkey in there. I don't usually eat duck because I don't buy duck, and I definitely aren't going to eat a duck foot. I don't think I want their webbed feet in my mouth. Yep, Connie, bone broth is really good for you. That's why I save mine. I save my ham bones too to take out and put in my beans and stuff when I make them later. And that's another thing that I got to do, is do a video on some beans with a ham bone. Well, when I was so limited with money to buy food, I always bought a whole turkey because I'd catch them on sale. I'd pay less than $10 for a big turkey. I'd bring it home, I'd cook it, I divided it all up into packages. I saved the carcass, divided the bones up into different packages, at least 2 or sometimes 3 packages, and I'd freeze it. And then I could take it out throughout the year anytime I wanted, and I'd have turkey. Or I could take the bones out and make a turkey soup, or turkey and dumplings, turkey and rice. And it's a great way to stretch your food dollar. I haven't had neck bones in years. I used to eat neck bones all the time. Neck bones, ham hocks, and rice. Yeah, that was a staple that I ate years ago growing up. There's so many cooking recipes I come up with. I can't get them all done. I mean, I think of one and I get it done, and then all of a sudden I've got 3 more that I want to do, and it's like, and by the time I can get another one done, I got 10 more to do. It's like I can't keep up with myself with my cooking videos. There's too many of them out there to do. Your neck bones are good when they're cooked right. Yeah, they'd be real good cooked in a pot of beans, Tenny. Yeah, I can always cook something, huh? My garden is burning up, but I can always cook something. Well, I grew up cooking. I used to help my mom, and I watched a lot of her stuff when she did it in the kitchen, my grandma too. And so, I have to be able to cook. Growing up, we didn't have restaurants to go to. If you didn't cook it at home, you didn't eat. No, I'm not eating no cow eyeballs, Wilson. You can have them all. Ugh. Not really. You just throw them in the pot and cook them like you do anything else. Well, this video that I'm going to post in the morning, I think everybody will like it. It's easy and it's so good. Oh my God. That's the reason I said Gladys has to watch it, because I know she's going to want Ty, her one of her boys, to do that recipe for her. Oh, gross. That makes me almost throw up thinking about it, Cindy. Your brother ate a fish eyeball on a bet and it came back up. Oh, I couldn't have kept that down either. Ooh, no. Yep, I know Connie's got to be a good cook. Not sweetbread. Well, like I said, my great grandparents were from Italy. They were 100% Italians. So my grandfather, he was only a little baby when they came to the United States. So he grew up eating Italian food. They mostly cooked Italian the way they learnt back in Italy. And my grandmother got a lot of that too from growing up around her grandparents and her mom or her dad, because um, my grandfather, like I said, was just a baby when they came over from Italy. My grandmother, she was born and raised in New York City. So I had a wide experience of different meals, recipes, and the ways of cooking from both of those sets of families. And then my dad was from the South, North Carolina. That was all country cooking. I mean, that was 100% country cooking with them. So I've just got a mixture of all of it. I've heard of that boudin, but I'm not sure exactly what goes in all that. I've heard of it though. I mean, I like their jambalaya and their gumbo, but they live down there where all that seafood is readily available, and it doesn't cost a fortune when you catch most of it yourself. Grits and eggs. Yeah, I grew up on grits and eggs. It's pronounced boo. I can't see the rest of it. Buddha or boudin. Boudin. Chiffon cake. Grits are delicious but sweet. Yeah, I love grits. Just cover them in some butter, salt and pepper. Oh, I can just eat grits by themselves. Yeah, it's like a sausage, that boudin or whatever they call it. It's like a sausage. He shot it in the lower belly. Oh, that was not good. Yeah, that's the way my great grandparents, they come in the 1800s through Ellis Island to become American citizens. And they settled in New York City. That's where they stayed. That's where my grandfather was raised, and that's where my mom was born and raised. But you know, after they got here is when they went through the Depression. So it was not a good time to be in the United States. Because living in the city where they were, you couldn't grow a garden. I mean, you had nowhere to put a garden. You couldn't grow your food like you could if you were back in Italy or living out in the country. So it was a hard time for them. They were very disappointed, and they didn't like it when they first came to the United States living in New York. I mean, the Depression was not a good time for anybody. Yep, turkey necks have some good meals. That's exactly right if you know how to fix them. Not really. If you cook those things so they fall apart, you don't have a hard time getting the meat off the bone. It falls off. I like to fry me some sausage or bacon, scramble me up some eggs, get me a bowl of hot grits with butter. I mix mine all up together. Salt and pepper. You couldn't give me a better meal than a bowl of grits with scrambled eggs and sausage or bacon in it. But I had a good childhood. I grew up learning about Italians and about the Irish because my grandmother was Irish living in New York. And like I said, my dad was from North Carolina, way out in the country. His parents owned a farm, and that was their living. Everything they got came from the farm. The only thing that my grandmother bought from the store was usually flour, sugar, and coffee. Everything else came from the farm. They either grew it or they raised it and butchered it. You never made polenta? No, I don't think I have. That's basically like a cornmeal, isn't it? Like cornbread or something like that. Well, tell us what polenta is, because I don't think I remember exactly. I'm associating it with cornbread or cornmeal. Just to make it, yes, it's corn. It's a corn dish. Yeah, I thought it was. I don't remember if I've ever made it, but thick grits fried. You remember him slicing it with a string. Hmm. Yeah, I like hash browns too, but I don't like them packaged, even though I've used store-bought hash browns in a package. I'd rather take my potatoes, grate them myself, and make my own hash browns. I don't like the way the store-bought hash browns cook. They're almost like they're still raw when you try to eat them, no matter how long you cook them. Yeah, I'd rather make my own. And I'll have to do that in a video coming up. Make me some homemade hash browns with ketchup. Louisiana Homestead said she made some the other day to freeze. Now listen, to fly free, no fear. Store-bought polenta is not recommended. I'll remember that. Make your own. Tomatoes and rice. Yeah, I've eaten my way through tomatoes and rice with my first marriage. That's his parents lived on tomatoes and rice and dried lima beans. But I loved it. I mean, I liked that food. I mean, yeah, Polenta fried is gold yellow cornmeal. Well, hominy is basically grits. I mean, you can get it in bigger pieces than like a grit. I think it's ground in bigger chunks. I don't usually buy the hominy. I usually just buy my grits. That reminds me, Connie, she said her little brother put ketchup on his mashed potatoes. Yeah, to me, that would mess my mashed potatoes up. But my little brother, when he was little, he'd tell Mama that he wanted his eggs scrambled, and then he'd put ketchup all over them. And he called it bloody eggs. And she'd ask him what he wanted for breakfast that morning when he come in the kitchen, and said, Mom, I want some bloody eggs. She said, what? She said, I want some bloody eggs. And all it was scrambled eggs with him putting ketchup on them. He called it his bloody eggs. You dip a grilled cheese sandwich in ketchup, April? I know back during those times it was the best when your parents or grandparents were cooking stuff like that. Yeah, I'll have to agree, April. Ketchup does make a lot of things better. Now, I started when sometimes I can scramble an egg. I'll put it on two pieces of bread, make me a sandwich with it. I'll put salt and pepper, and I'll put ketchup on it. Ketchup goes good with scrambled eggs. I've not put syrup on my eggs and bacon before, but I'm sure it's good, especially the bacon. Yeah, maple syrup on sausage is good. Sounds good, Connie. Not on eggs. I just grate mine and put an egg, break an egg in it, put a little bit of flour, seasoning. I grate a little bit of onion in mine and make me a hash brown patty and fry it. I'll do it in a video coming up. You can see how I put onions in everything. I mean, you don't have to put onions in your hash browns, and a lot of people don't. Sometimes I don't. I'll have to take some of my little new potatoes I dug out of my garden and make me some hash browns. I make them out of any kind of potatoes. It don't matter. The white ones, the red ones. Whatever kind of potatoes I have on hand is what I make my hash browns with. Bacon spam? I've not heard of it. I didn't even know they had a bacon spam. Well, I like bacon and I like spam, so I probably would like the bacon spam. I just haven't tried any. Oh, y'all are making me hungry. Oh, April's got a hot date. Jalapeno spam? See, I didn't know they had a jalapeno spam at Aldi's. And there's Kai. Hello, Kai. Oh, he got him some fresh mangoes and gonna make some pickled mango. I've never didn't know you pickled mango. Sounds good. Louisiana Homestead, you have a safe 4th of July. Have a fantastic night and have a great day tomorrow, and we'll see you on our next live. Have a safe and happy 4th of July if we don't chat before then. Spam mango grill. I have no idea, Joanne. She said, who spells bacon spam? Is it bacon in a spam can? Mango sticky rice. That sounds good. Aldi has it. I'm going to have to check Aldi out. Walmart may have it. I haven't looked because I didn't even know they had it. I know they've come up with several different types of spam in Walmart. It's in a spam can, actually bacon flavored spam. Huh. Yeah, I noticed that. They had several different ones, but I didn't try any of the new flavors. I said, I don't know if I'd like them or not. I like the regular old spam that I always bought. It's called bacon spam in a spam can. You need to broaden your horizons, Cindy. Spam is good, and it's all meat from some critter, like everything else. You get the great value bacon flavored luncheon meat, tastes the same and cheaper. Yeah, I get that sometimes. I grew up eating lunch meat. I mean, my mom used to buy it all the time. I don't remember the brand name, but we liked it pretty good. We'd make sandwiches out of it. I loved lunch meat. You don't like the texture? Well, thank you, Patty C. Yeah, I use spam in my fried rice. I make what they use, like a refried rice, and I've got a couple of videos out on it, I think, where I used ham in one fried rice, and then I used actual spam in the other one. And I'll tell you what, they were both just as good. I mean, they were equally as good. Goodness gracious, we've been on here for 2.5 hours. Still got 47 watching, looks like. 30 thumbs up. 19 cents when you young needed. Yeah, you can't. When I put my watermelon cloth down, I hope you saw all the little short logs that were laid down on that fabric, the weed barrier cloth. Because guess what? There's so many rocks back there, you can't even put a stake in the ground. It came with little stakes, to drive down through the fabric to hold it to the ground. You can't drive them down. It hits rocks and it'll bend. They'll stop. So I had to put those pieces of little wood logs down everywhere and rocks to keep it weighted down so the wind doesn't blow it away. It's crazy. My watermelons are planted in, I've got 4 hills of watermelon, and each hill is planted in a potting soil bag that I put holes in the bottom. I mounded dirt around the bag and then put logs around it to make kind of like a raised bed type of thing. And then I planted my seeds inside the grow bag. That's what my watermelon's growing in, because you couldn't dig a hole to put them in the ground. Well, I'm still thinking about it. I had been forgetting about it, and every time I think about it, I said, well, I can't do it now. It's getting too late. But I got to figure out where to put it, for one. And I think I know the spot. It might be behind the silver shed, because I've got a rock back there, and it gets pretty hot. I mean, every plant that I've had back in that section burns up, so I have to move it so it's in partial shade. But I think that rock is in the sun most of the day, especially the hottest times of the day. And I think that's where I'm going to fry my egg. I don't know how long it's going to take, but we'll find out. Yeah, well, I made my own grow bags, because the regular grow bags, they're made out of some kind of fabric, and the soil dries out too fast. It gets too hot here. So I use my soil bags, the plastic bags. I turn those into grow bags, and that's what I got my watermelon planted in because it holds more of the moisture into the soil. They don't dry out as fast. I was watching the chat. Yeah, I tried to come up with a way that I could grow something in something like a grow bag, but it would hold moisture. So I came up with the idea of just using a potting soil bag. Drain holes in the bottom. That way, if the roots go down through the holes, they'll just go into the dirt under the bag, and the roots can find their way through the rocks, but it might help keep it moist under there because our ground is drying out so fast. There's no moisture even in the ground. I think next year when I plant my watermelon, I'm going to put them in a tote. I'm going to plant my watermelon either in a tote or a 5-gallon bucket. Listen to Wilson, corned beef, hash brown with eggs and grits. That all sounds good. I love corned beef. I love hash browns. I love eggs, and I love grits. But I don't usually fix them all in the same meal. Well, y'all, we've been on here for 2 hours and 33 minutes. I think we need to end the live and go about our daily routine. I know there's stuff you need to do. Some of us need to get dinner started if they haven't started it already. Could do that with potatoes. I like watermelon and yogurt. I've never had watermelon and yogurt together. But I like yogurt and I like watermelon, so I don't know. I'm not sure how that would work out, but it sounds good. Okay, Cindy, you have a good evening and good day tomorrow. And I'm going to say a good evening to everybody in chat, everybody watching. I've enjoyed the chat we've had today. I love it that y'all take your time to come into my live chats. I love each and every one of you. Everybody, have a blessed night. Have a fantastic day tomorrow. If I do not hear from you or see you between now and the 4th of July or on the 4th, y'all have a safe and happy 4th of July. Love y'all and see you next time. Bye now.